So today we're going to look at how to factorize quadratics when a is not equal to 1. So remember, a quadratic has a form ax squared plus bx plus c. This is just a agreed convention that the coefficient of x squared is called a, coefficient of x is b, and the number at the end, which is a constant term, is c. Now, when a is not equal to 1, the factorization can be quite tricky. However, if you learn this method and practice it, it's going to be foolproof. So, let's have a go at the first step. So the first step is to multiply a by c and work out what ac is equal to. Then you're going to write what b is, and then we're going to do the grid, which you will have to fill in by factorizing. So let me explain by doing this example. So the first thing we're going to do is work out what a times c is. So a multiplied by c is going to be 4 multiplied by minus 6, which is minus 24. And then we're going to write what b is. B is the number in front of x, minus 5. Then we're going to draw a grid. So the grid is going to look like the grid that you're getting when you're multiplying out two brackets, except we don't have those two brackets because we are undoing the process of multiplying out. So we're going to fill in the grid with our quadratic. Okay, so fill it in with the quadratic. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is put the first biggest term. So the one over here, 4x squared, he's the boss, he goes in the top left corner. Then you're going to put minus 6, that's going to be the last one, that's the one that doesn't have any x's. The next step is to put the number of x's. Remember, when you multiply out two brackets, you will be adding these two to make the middle term. So we need to work out what these are, and this is how you do it. You're going to look at those two results, and you're going to be thinking, I want to find two numbers that multiply this time to give me minus 24, so these two times together, and add to give me minus 5. So what are the two numbers? So think about two numbers that give you 24 that are 5 apart. So if you try 1 and 24, that doesn't work. 2 and 12, that doesn't work. 3 and 8, 3 and 8 might work. If you've got 3 and 8, you multiply them together, you'll get 24. By making one of these negative, you'll have minus 24. So which one should you make negative if you want them to add up to minus 5? Well, the bigger one will have to be negative. So it's going to be 3 and minus 8. So that works. So 3 and minus 8 will have to be put in here with the x's. So you will put 3x and minus 8x. Doesn't matter which place you put these two, they can be interchanged. So that's part 2 done. Then you're going to fill in the brackets, the sides, by factorizing. So we filled in the grid, but now we're going to fill out, if you like. So look at by factorizing. What do I mean by that? So you need to think, you go up and you look at 4x squared and 3x. What is the number that you can factorize out, or a letter? So 4 and 3, you have nothing in common, but x squared and x have x in common, so you can take out x. The rest is really easy once you've got that. You just need to work out this side by thinking x multiplied by what gives you 4x squared. So this is going to be 4x. X multiplied by this number should give you 3x. So that must be 3. This number is 3 multiplied by that number to give you -6. So you must have multiplied by -2. And this one you can just check. -2 times 4x gives you -8x. Guess what? You found the two brackets. The two brackets are 4x and +3 and x and -2. That's the answer. So let's have a go at the second example. So remember, the first step is to multiply the a by c. So AC is equal to 8. So then that represents the product. Then B is -9. That will represent the sum. So you need to think two numbers times together give me 8, add together to -9. Well, those numbers to add together to -9, they must be both negative. So it's very easy, -8 and -1 this time. When you add -8 to -1, you'll get -9. So let's do the grid. So the grid, we know what goes inside the grid. You will have 2x squared in the top left. You will have 4 in the bottom right. In these two corners will go -8x and -1x. So let's put -1x here, -8x here. You will have to factorize. You can either factorize this way to find this number, or factorize or term this way. I will factorize this way because this one has less in common, so it'll be easier. So what goes into 2x squared and -x? That's going to be x. Nothing else can be taken out. Then you're going to do x multiplied by what gives me 2x squared? There must have been 2x. And then you need to do 2x times, oh, well, let's just do this one. X times what gives me -1? That's going to be -1. -1 times what gives you 4? That's got to be -4. And just to check, 2x times -4 gives me -8x. And we found the two brackets. Okay, I'll do 2 more examples and hopefully you'll be able to have a go yourselves. So let's have a look at example 3. The first thing we do AC. That will give me 15. Sorry, it's spaced out, I don't know why. And then B is -11. So I'm thinking about two numbers times together give me 15, add up to -8. Again, for that two times together to give me 15 positive, the two numbers are either both positive or both negative. Since they add to -11, they must be both negative. So think about how you can make 15. So you can do 3 times, okay, example 3 and 4, in factorizing quadratics where a is not equal to 1. So let's have a look. So first thing we need to do is multiply 2 by 15. So 2 times 15 is going to be 30. So we're going to look for two numbers. This is your AC, by the way. So that's two numbers times together give you 30. B is equal to -11. So then we're looking for two numbers add together give me -11. So think about factors of 30. We're going to make both of these negative because that's the only way you can have negative sum and then positive product. So factors of 30, 1 and 30, you can't make 11. 2 and 15, no chance. 3 and 10, no, you can get to 13, but, or -13 if you use -3 and -10. 6 and 5 would work, okay? 6 times 5 is 30, but it adds up to positive 11. So if you make both of these negative, that should work. So draw the grid. Start filling it in with 2t squared at the top left and 15 bottom right. Then over here we're going to put minus 6t and minus 5t. So the rest is just solving that puzzle. So factorizing the common, we don't really need to factorize it once, and the rest is thinking about multiplying. So if we go across, what goes into 2t squared and minus 6t, so definitely 2 and then t. And then you need to think 2t multiplied by what gives me 2t squared, that's going to be t. Then t times what gives me minus 5t, so it's minus 5. Minus 5 times what is 15 minus 3. And you've got your answer, t minus 3 and then 2t minus 5. So let's have a look at the next question. Multiply these two to get the value of AC. AC is 8 times minus 9, so minus 72. And then B, so we'll be looking for two numbers times together, give me minus 72. B is minus 6. Those two numbers need to add to minus 6. So both of these are negative, so we know that we'll obtain it by making, considering two numbers, one is positive, one negative. Right, just think about factors of 72 that are 6 apart. So what goes into 72? Well, you could have 4. Oh, I got it straight away. Right, let me just show you how you can think about it. You've got 8 times 9 is 72. 8 is 2 times 2 times 2, and 9 is 3 times 3. So you're just thinking about two numbers times together, it gives me 72. So I said I've got something, I think, straight away. Let me just double check. So, yeah. Well, you could consider 4, and so that would be 4 times these 3 times together, so it's 18. Well, make one negative, one positive, add them together, you won't get minus 6. Okay, but if you do, for example, 2 times 3, that's 6, and then 2 times 2, which is 4 times 3, 12. You might have guessed it straight away, by the way. 12 and 6 are 6 apart, yeah. So you could make minus 12 and positive 6, that would work. So let's fill in the grid. Starting with 8x squared, and then minus 9, and then you've got to put minus 12x and positive 6x. And let's just factorize what goes into 8x squared and 6x, definitely 2 and x, so 2x. Then you just need to think about multiplying 2x by something to give you 8x squared. That something must be 4x. 4x, or let's just do this one, 2x times something gives us 6x, that must be 3. And 3 times something gives me minus 9, that's minus 3. And just double check, minus 3 times 4x is minus 12x. So the bracket is 4x plus 3 multiplied by 2x minus 3, and that's the answer. So hopefully you're ready now to have a go at some questions.